This is week 11, coding assignment, the TicTacToe game. I have index HTML where I have a few divs. I gave them IDs. First one is a container and then some classes. Right here I have two headers, a button, play a game. And then I have a style CSS because I like to color the background and I like to color the button and so on. And then we have the script.js where I started by declaring a few variables, the cells with the query selector because we have 9 cells, and then I use the query selector for status, index, and play a game button. Also, I needed a constant win condition for my two-dimensional array of indexes because I will have to check if two cells have the same characters later, but I needed to know which ones to check. Then I created placeholders, which are 9 empty strings, 1 for each cell, and then I set the current player to X. I started with my first function, initialize game, where I took my each cell and I added an event listener where I listened for the click, and then I gave it the callback of cell clicked. I added an event listener as well for the play a game button where I listen for the click and then restart the game. And then I updated the text to a current player's turn. The next function I have cell click. So when we click on the cell, what are we going to do, right? So I set a variable cell index and I set it to this, where this is every cell that we are clicking on, and I got it an attribute cell index right here. Then I check to see if the index number within my options or placeholders are not empty, because we will only want to update the cells if it's nothing in there. So if options at cell index is not an empty space or the game is not running, then we'll update the cells and check for for winners. My next function is update cell, where I updated the placeholder within option index and set it to current player. Change player function. For the change player function, I took my current player and set it to X. So if my current player is X, then we will reassign our current player to O, otherwise to X. For the check winner, I took a variable round 1 and set it to false. And then I used a for loop to iterate through all over the win conditions within our array. Then store each of the arrays into an empty variable with the condition equals to win condition at our current index of I. Then I checked for empty spaces. If there is one, we need to skip. If there's one, we have to continue and then skip this iteration. Then I checked if round 1 is equal to true, then the current player wins and the game is over. Otherwise, if there are no more spaces left, then it's a draw. Otherwise, we change players. And lastly, the function restart game. I took my current player and X and my empty 9 strings, and then I changed the content to my current player's turn, and then updated the content of my cells And this is my game. Pretty basic, but meets all the requirements. Okay, let me have all win. So let me put X turn over here and Y. So all wins, 0 wins. Let's see if we can make X wins. And X wins again. This is it.